Welcome to day 2140 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey originally as I transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. Came online in 2017, beginning of 2017, following my divorce and divesting myself of the businesses that I had with the ex. And jumped in and got overwhelmed, like so many people do, with all the different things there are available online. You can actually spend your entire life doing things and going down different rabbit holes on the internet without ever actually accomplishing anything, right? We can get into this learning mode where we're actually learning, and looking at all the new things. Shiny object syndrome. Never heard of that until I came online. Didn't have time when I was in the offline world to have shiny object syndrome and chase after all the next greatest latest things. But in the internet, it's super easy because it's the click of a button and you're down a whole nother rabbit hole. So, and I guess I learned that as the internet was becoming a thing. I mean, I've been around since before the internet even existed and was a thing. I remember in the beginning, I actually would stay up all night long, knowing I had to go to work in the morning and take care of my kids. But I'd stay up all night long on the internet, researching and looking into things. And so I should have known that when I came online, that would happen to me. But of course, we forget things, and I didn't. But that's part of my journey and part of what I had to learn when I came online. So today I create a couple pieces of content every day. One is an idiom, what it means, where it came from, and how you can use it to build and grow and supersize your business for my Supersize Your Business group. And today was Hobson's choice. And we've covered it once before. I'd never heard of this idiom, but it basically means you have no choice at all. You either take what's offered or you don't do business with the particular person or entity that you're doing business with. And I talk about how you can use that, become the only number one choice in your ideal customers' minds, even though we actually always have infinite possibilities and lots of different choices and decisions we can make, right? It isn't either you do business with this one person or you have no other alternative. And back in the day, he was renting horses to university students, and in order to not wear out his best horses, he implemented a policy where you took the next horse in line or you didn't get to rent a horse from him at all. And that became known over the next few decades as Hobson's choice, meaning you don't really have a choice at all. You take this or you get nothing. And I think a lot of times we look at the problems and the situations and the challenges of our life as if we only have one or two choices. Either we do this or it's all over. Either we do what somebody wants or there is no in between. And that's just absolutely positively not true. We always have a choice. We can always choose not to participate. I learned that following my sudden cardiac arrest, that I can use my personal power and say, I see what's going on here. It's not good for me. I choose not to participate and step away from the situations that aren't good for us. But I do think it's important that we understand, get to know our customers, really want to help and serve those people. And then in their minds, we become their best only choice because they know that we have their best interests at heart. Our topic for for the Get Your Goals annual challenge today, day 340 of our challenge, we're going through the SOAP framework again. And of course, our SOAP framework is a framework that we use to deal with any setback, problem, challenge, obstacle, roadblock, problem, the big P word, that comes our way. I use this thing at least every day, probably hundreds of times a day, just on my subconscious level, to make decisions and choices and solve problems and decide what to do next, etc. We're on the O today for the SOAP framework, and that stands for options. So how do we open ourselves up to knowing how many options there are out there? I am a brainstorming fan, been brainstorming since I was in grade school. And now it's really interesting. The things that I learned in college, they're actually teaching kids in grade school, statistics and brainstorming and some of the advanced topics and problem solving tools that I didn't learn until college. They're actually teaching my granddaughters now. And I think that's absolutely fascinating. Now, they didn't teach them handwriting for my nephew's grade in a few years. They didn't teach kids how to handwrite or sign their name, but now they're going back to that. So here I have a 23-year-old nephew who is now on his own learning cursive so that he can sign things, which is just mind-boggling to me. I don't know, sometimes people get ideas and you're like, do you think about how that's going to impact the world? But I don't think they do. So we have to always remember there's a bigger picture to what's going on than the things that are going on with us right this minute. But what I like to do is use the 10-3-1 tool. So we brainstorm at least 10 possible ways to get from where we are to where we want to be. And I actually started working on my challenge yesterday with my daughter, because mine is to get more organized and declutter things in my life, different areas and aspects of my life. So we talked about how do we brainstorm options to get from where we are to where we want to be. And sometimes the best thing to do is to work backwards from where we want our desired state to where we are right now. And that helps us to show things. I've done this for a long time, for decades in corporate America. When I would go to a new company or a new job or a new client, I work backwards through their processes. And I probably learned it from some guru to, hey, look at the processes backwards. But it's interesting. We always design our processes moving forward. Like, how do we do things? This is how we do it. And we design it. And it isn't until we go through it backwards that we actually see where the little missing pieces or the holes are in those processes. And I guess I learned this as a quality manager and a quality person over the decades, that doing that, working backwards, really is the fastest, easiest way to find where those holes are, or where there are problem areas that could cause problems in the end result of our products and services. So that's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I'll be with you tomorrow.